What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Make sure to like and sub, and let's get into this. We have more racist, man-hating people at Compulsion Games because, quite frankly, I'm done with it. I'm done. It's not even fun memeing on them anymore. They're despicable people, and they need to all not be hired or in any sort of this development. We need to out all of them, and they all need to walk off into the sunset and go get hired somewhere else. So here we have Compulsion Games Community Manager reportedly protected despite declaring hatred of gamers and claiming white male gamers were a mistake. So a new report claims that Compulsion Games Community Manager Kate Robinson is being protected despite declaring she hates gamers and previously claimed white male gamers were a mistake. Get in line, honey. Robinson, who announced back at the end of September that she became the community manager for Compulsion Games, wrote on X on February 14th, such a lovely Valentine's Day. Honestly, I hate gamers. Okay. Really good idea for you to be a community manager, but that being said, we've talked about that. Her post about hating gamers came a day after the official Compulsion Games X account announced its support for Crystal Dynamics' trigger warning at the beginning of Tomb Raider 1-3 Remastered. The trigger warning read, "The games in this collection contain offensive depictions of people and cultures rooted in racial and ethnic prejudice. These stereotypes are deeply harmful, inexcusable, and do not align with our values at Crystal Dynamics." And somehow the only people they're harmful to are the guilty white women that somehow are the ones that are most of the time are behind all of this. Don't know why that is. It adds, "Rather than removing this content, we have chosen to present it here in its original form, unaltered, in the hopes that we may acknowledge its harmful impact and learn from it." Oh, you're so brave. Compulsion Games responded to the trigger warning, writing on X on February 13th, "Many video games are a product of the times they were created in. As we look to recreate and remaster these stories for modern that fucking mythical modern audience, it's important to consider the implications of these harmful portrayals and do our part to rewrite new history, not repeat it." No, not rewrite new history. At least they said the quiet part out loud right there. They literally want to rewrite history. The developer added, "We applaud our peers at Crystal Dynamics for their reflections and corrections." Not only did she claim she hated gamers on February 14th, but in an interview with Refinery 29 back in 2022, she admitting to posting on social media, "White male gamers were a mistake." Now, do me a favor and switch out white for another color and male for the other gender, and tell me if you still want to defend that statement. And you know who you are. She told the outlet, "You're not going to tickle some people's fancy being outspoken or tweeting things like I do when I say white male gamers were a mistake. I like to think that my kind of presence acts as a way to kind of show people like, hey, you can be outspoken, you can have a backbone and stand for something and still be..." You can show people you can be a racist piece of shit that hates men and still be... I question her on her success thing, but okay. We all have different definitions. Later in the interview, while discussing Twitch demographics, she detailed the streaming platforms' demographics are really just a greater reflection of the society at large outside of gaming. Also not fucking true. She elaborated, "I mean, we see who sits at the top of the society in general. It's that, and also subconscious bias and subconscious racism," which you at least have a conscious racism. "When people think about gaming, they have one image in mind, and it's probably some white guy." Could be because a lot of white guys play the games. Maybe. Robinson went on to inform the outlet, "If somebody white says, I have this apprehension going into a space where there's black people, that ends up being rooted in something more sinister. And that's when you have to take a look at yourself and ask yourself, why do you feel that way?" Maybe they got robbed before. Oh my God. Okay. She also shared that one of her goals from the home passages of YouTube and Twitch is to have black folks who are queer, trans, brown, disabled, and not be outnumbered by cisgender white people, specifically white men, and not just during a specific Black History Month or Women's History Month at any time. Again, it's all about narcissism, projecting, and virtue signaling to them. Now, former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern reports that Robinson is being protected. He posted on X, "More X developers come forth about Sweet Baby Inc. Project South of Midnight by Compulsion Games. He then shared the community manager is still protected after saying she hates gamers and has a problem with Asian and white people. And again, they think that Asians are just white adjacent. Next, he reiterated details from a previous report. Main character was race swapped in order to better reflect a tale set in the Deep South after MS and SBI involvement. Sure, all right. The team that created their past celebrated title, We Happy Few, is mostly gone, and that is the case with most of these studios. The good people that were there that made the thing that made the studio popular, they're gone. They're already gone, and all that's left are the new DEI hires or the corrupted ones that didn't have a voice before because they have bad ideas, but they're like they have the most seniority on the team, and so now they're in charge and they have clout. But it's not because they're actually good; it's because they're the only ones left. He added less than 10% of the original We Happy Few team remains. And I would wager that's probably the same for a Rocksteady, a BioWare, all of them. Even a CD Projekt Red. Furthermore, Kern relayed promotion of non-qualified staff to lead and management positions resulted in a mess. Sorry, I didn't know he was going to say that, but is what I just said. So everyone that was unqualified staff to lead and management positions resulted in a mess of a project. No idea how to make a game. He continued, the dev team is almost entirely white-based in Montreal, Canada, settlers. And many devs felt uncomfortable creating a game in the Deep South with so little experience. Well, maybe you should feel. Maybe you should. If I, as an American, would not go set out to make a game set in deep Canada, because what the fuck do I know about the deep woods of Canada? SBI and POC writers were brought on board to help with a more authentic. What the fuck did they know about the Deep South? They're Canadian too. Kern then shared that at least one of these sources relayed to him that Robinson is one of many incompetent hires working at Compulsion Games. The gamer-hating community manager, Katie Robinson, is cited one of the many incompetent staff promoted or hired into senior positions who does no actual work. Well, that sounds about right. He continued, a quick glance at the company page she manages, Compulsion Games, reveal virtually no info about the game and consists of endless retweets of DEI-related matters and promotions about other games and companies. Kern concluded the information he received from his sources writing, devs paint picture of a passion project by the creative director who grew up in the South, gone awry after Microsoft money, project in poor state of development, good devs with good intentions being hamstrung by poor hires and promotions, not based on merit. This sounds exactly like the movie industry, sounds like every industry. The same thing is going on right now. Promotions not based on merit and very poor community management. There are many good people there. Finally, he concluded his post writing, my personal hope is that Compulsion Games turns this around, creates the beautiful fantasy story they intended. They should clean up staff and get a new community manager who actually loves their games and loves gamers. That would be a novel idea. And they should fire Sweet Baby Inc. and let gamers know they did. Yes. There are many, many devs in the industry who are held hostage, silenced by a DEI culture of fear that prevents them from doing their job. And this is the movie industry. Held a DEI culture of fear that prevents them from doing their jobs. The few remaining good people left. Or from DEI and ESG culture, lowering quality and abandoning merit, causing many talented devs stuck without promotions or forced to leave and causing projects to fail. This has to change to fix gaming. Yes, and is also pointed out, the video game industry cannot tank losses the way the movie industry can. A loss of a huge couple $100 million game like that means the company goes away forever. What do you think of this? Yeah, I think it's par for the course, and it's more disgusting, just more obfuscation and lying of the truth and hiding of these people because it's all captured. It's all captured, and the few remaining good, talented people left there are essentially held hostage for one reason or another. Let me know what you think of this in the comments. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you've done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. And
well, bye.